Okay, so you won't have homework for today, but I do want you to quickly watch this weekly recap video. What I'm going to be doing is each week doing some kind of recap. I'm thinking probably on Friday, and there's going to be two parts, a part that I'm expecting you to watch, and then a part that you don't necessarily need to watch unless you had particular issues. So things like misconceptions and general informations and what's coming up will all be in the part one. That way everyone's on the same page and we make sure that there's no confusion there. So without further ado, today what we're going to look at is making sure that you're submitting the assignments properly. I've been having a few people that have struggled with that, so I just want to address it. Expectations in terms of timing, because attendance is going to be a little bit of a new thing coming this week, and then some common misconceptions that I saw from this week's assignments. Then after that, I'll go into more information on how to use the gizmo, how to submit things using PDF, and then just misconceptions about the topic that is a little bit more specific that not so many people had issues with, but I still want to make sure that I help clarify. So, okay. First of all, let's go ahead and start with submissions. I want to make sure at this point that you have 5 grades in the gradebook, and that would mean all 5 of your assignments are in and in properly. Make sure you're looking for comments and instructions in the assignment, and then making sure that you're seeing what the individual comments are in the assignment itself. So let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Here is, if you go into your gradebook on Schoology, that's what those grades should look like. And notice that if there are comments over here, you'll want to pay attention to those. They tell you what to do to move forward. If you have anything that are missing like this, then you've got to get that in ASAP. So all of these little individual pages show you that you have submitted it. So what you want to see is a page that looks just like this, all of your submissions in, no concerns with any of them, and 10, 5, 5, 5, and 5. So you're looking at 30 points so far. Hopefully you've gotten that 30 out of 30. If not, for the most part, I'm going to be letting you resubmit them, so you might as well. Another thing to note about this is, and I can't go in and show you on my end what it looks like, but for a lot of your things, I have been posting different comments to answer maybe some questions that you have, etc. So please go into the assignment. I think you get email notifications when I put assignments into Schoology, but I don't really, like I said, I don't necessarily know what that looks like. Okay, one down. Let's keep going. When you are submitting, please, please, please make sure you are taking all of your assignments, unless it's like a video and a written assignment. Otherwise, make sure that they're all going into one PDF document. I have been doing a lot of grading while working with my kids at the kitchen table kind of thing, and so I'm using my laptop or my iPad to grade instead of my laptop. It's just a little bit easier, and if I have to download each individual picture or page, it gets really cumbersome. So please make sure that you are submitting all of it as a single PDF. If you're seeing that I wrote blank on it, please watch at the end. I'm going to show you how to make sure that you're submitting it in a way that I can see it. If you were submitting any images as the HEIC, at least convert that into JPEG. Schoology has been having a little bit of difficulty loading those, so those are Apple specific images. So err on the side of caution, get it in a PDF and submit it, and make sure that it's a high enough quality PDF that I can actually see it. There have been a couple that are so pixelated that I can't read anything, so there you go. And like I said, at the end, I'll give you a little bit more information about submitting. Okay, so some procedural stuff. I've been getting the same questions quite a bit, so let's go ahead and make sure we're all on the same page here. Obviously, you want to try to stay on top of your assignments. I understand that that can be a little bit overwhelming and that a lot of you have other responsibilities. So I've been aiming for roughly an hour a day. So make sure you're starting out by watching the videos to get the full instructions. Make sure you're following those instructions. And if you're spending a ton more time than an hour a day, let me know, because I might need to scale back. I just want to hopefully not have to do that. Starting this week on Tuesday, we are going to start taking attendance, and that's going to be based on your submissions. So before you get too stressed out about it, your attendance is now editable past the fact. So if you see that I've marked you absent for something because maybe you didn't log into Schoology and submit an assignment by, 4 or 5 p.m. when I happen to be going through it, don't worry about it, because the following day, if I see that, hey, you submitted it at 11:30, I can just go back in and change it to present. Also, the attendance isn't going to really matter like it used to. There's no like excused or unexcused absences or anything like that. So again, like, don't panic. And then finally, in terms of late work, this is not normal times. In class, it was, if it's late, it's half credit. Well, we're not in class. And like I said, I know things are going on with a lot of you guys. So just keep me informed. Let me know if things are coming up that you have to be maybe a little bit more delayed, so I don't think that it's going to be a recurring pattern. But as long as you have everything in and you're making a legitimate effort to get it all into me, as long as it's in by like the end of the week and I can grade it, that's fine. I'm not encouraging you to procrastinate. I still expect that most of you are getting 80-90% of the assignments in on time, but if there's a couple that fall behind, that's okay. That's okay. And we'll talk if it becomes an issue. So if I don't talk to you about it, you're fine. Okay, some misconceptions that I've seen about homeostasis. Remember that all different conditions, things like pH, temperature, solute concentrations, all of those things have to be consistent in all cells. All organisms must do it, and they might have different set points, but it's a must. And a lot of people had the question about what happens if an organism can't maintain homeostasis. That is the definition of death. And in fact, every illness is really, we have symptoms of the illness, not because of like, the presence of bacteria or a virus or something like that. Our illness actually comes from losing the ability to be efficient and effective with maintaining homeostasis. So all illnesses have to do with inadequate homeostasis, and complete failure of homeostasis is then going to result in death. In terms of the gizmo, I saw a few people kind of switch some things around, so I'll talk about that in a second. But for the most part, almost everybody missed this idea of, why does exercising increase body temperature? And so exercise is going to increase how much glucose you have to use, how much ATP is being manufactured, and those energy conversions are going to be not so efficient and result in the production of heat. So exercising leads to the production of heat, leads to increased body temperatures. For sweating, why does sweating cool you down? Evaporative cooling. So bring it back to previous units for that one. Some confusion here. For example, sweating. Sweating cools you down, but it is not the thing that causes you to drop below set point most of the time, right? Like if you're drenched in water, maybe that's going to cause you to cool off. But for the most part, keep these two ideas separate. Something's going to, either on this side of the screen, right over here, be responsible for a drop in whatever the set point is, leading to something that helps bring it back up, or something's going to cause an increase. That stimulus is going to be a heightened temperature, like increased temperature or higher concentration of whatever the case might be, and then the response is to bring it back down. Okay, so they're kind of canceling each other out there. So we don't sweat when we're cold because we're already cold, and so we need to do something to heat up, going in the opposite direction. Hopefully I didn't confuse you more on that one. Anyway, so with that in mind, the last thing that I just want to say is I really have enjoyed seeing the videos of you guys, having your comments, some of your witty comments in the assignments I've picked up on and just smiled. And it's been really tough to not have the classroom environment, and to have you guys laughing at my corny jokes, and kind of bickering amongst each other. But just know that I miss you a lot, and I can't wait to get back into the swing of things eventually. And you guys are going to be fine. Yeah. So, all that in mind, I am hoping to do some kind of like podcast vlog thing on viruses. So if you're interested in that, let me know. If no one's really interested, I probably won't do it, but I know you guys have had a lot of questions about what coronavirus is, and it seems logical that your bio teacher should be someone that can help you find those answers. Okay, the rest of this is optional, so what we're going to look at is, I don't really need to do that. Talk about the, oh, where did my last slide go? Oh, I copied this one twice. Look at me go. Anyway, the last thing that I want to talk about in terms of the optional stuff is going into, here it is, the gizmo, how to use that. If you didn't submit the gizmo finished, I'll kind of guide you through some things there. How to make sure you're submitting everything as a PDF. And then I think I actually talked enough about the negative feedback. So for the gizmo, here is the assignment and the directions, and it seems like most people that didn't finish got to about question 7 and went, uh-oh, what do I do? So the air temperature automatically starts at 32, the body temperature at 99 degrees Fahrenheit, and all you're doing is hitting play. So this button, let me move myself. Oh, this is trippy. I don't need to be on the screen yet. This button right here is going to start the process off so that you're able to, right about an hour, see what happens to the body temperature in these cold conditions, right? Then the rest of the gizmo is all about doing little things to change them. Bumping up the exercise level, then hit reset. Bumping up the sweat level, then hitting reset. So let's go up to, oops, let's hit reset. Right? Okay, so if I bring the exercise level up to 70% and then hit play, after 1 hour, you can see that the body temperature increased. So that's kind of the quick and dirty tutorial for what you need to know to how to walk through all of these, and then you're just answering the questions. Again, it's that reset button that a lot of people forgot about hitting and caused some issues. Now, while I have this PDF open, let's go ahead and move up here so that you can see kind of some of the common problems. If you were doing this, you're hitting the text button, you're having a text box pop up, and then you're writing in the answer. Answer. That's fine. But when you hit save, you can't just hit save because I won't be able to see what you have. Instead, what you're going to need to do is come down here to where it says export as PDF. When you export it, it will essentially make a new flattened file where each of your individual comments are merged with the original. So when I go to open up something, if you just hit save, this file becomes the main thing that I see, and all of the individual text boxes that you have get pushed behind that document, and I don't have a way to see it. So again, all you're doing is hitting boop, boop, boop. Like once all your answers are in, file, export as PDF, and then it'll save it as a new document, something that you can then submit to me and I'll be able to see. In terms of if you've been getting the work done but not submitting it as PDF, this is a recap from one of the first videos for the FID day. What you're going to want to do here, whoops, come back down here, right? So I've opened up pages. You just want a blank pages. Let me slide this over, hit create. It's not letting me do it because my face is in the way. There we go. Hit create. Put whatever images that you need to drag and drop in here. So let's say, for example, this is, you know, the picture, the notes. You want it large enough that it's actually visible and at a high enough resolution. Put whatever notes or whatever images that you need. If you need to go on to new pages, you can do that. Just add a new page, whatever the case might be. And then you're coming back up here, File, Export to PDF, and make sure, please, to submit it. All the different pictures that you've taken or all the different pages that you've made, export it onto one single PDF. So all the pages are there, export to PDF, and then move on from there. Just kind of follow the prompts. Yep. Next, save as, end of story. Okay. If you've got any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're good to go, and have a good rest of your week.